Well, hello, this is Alan Cousins. Hey, let's take a look at whether Empower Network can actually work for you. Now, I've been in this industry a long time, about pushing 15 years now, and the thing is that there's over the years, I get the same questions from prospects over and over and over and over again, no matter what opportunity it is, no matter what type of business model it is. They all pretty much want to know the same thing. And if you're watching this video, it's probably because you're researching Empower Network and you got certain things you want answered. And some of you don't even know what questions to ask. Or maybe you got one question and you just kind of feel like, well, you're just not quite stable on your understanding of it and you're just not quite ready yet. Well, I just want to point out a few things to you. We're going to go through some of these questions, and you need to have answers to these questions. One, because you need them for yourself, and two, you need to be able to answer these for your prospects. Otherwise, what are you going to say when they ask you, right? So we're going to take you through some of these, but the thing is that, see, I may not be the best sponsor for you. I might be. I might be the greatest sponsor you ever had in your life. I may be the most helpful person you ever met in your life, and we may have a real good time together. Our personalities may not match. You see, it's not a question of like who's the best. It's just a question of who fits you. What I like to do is I'm not a real rehearsed type of a person. I just shoot from the hip. I tell it like it is, and I've been doing it this way a long time, and it works really well. And the thing is that you have to be able to communicate with people in a real way. If you're like me, you go around the internet and you see all these things, and it's like you can't even tell who these people are. They're very contrived, and you just feel like you're getting put on. So I don't care about any of that. I'm more interested in being free than I am in being rich. And I do really well financially, but the thing is that I have free time, and for me that's more important because I got a 5-year-old. I got 3 days a week. I work with my church, and that's what's important to me. And this is just stuff I do to make money. Well, if I can help people in the process, you know what? That's more enjoyable for me. And I would encourage you to take the same viewpoint on it. You know, be willing to accept help and be willing to help others. And everything else in this business, everything else is just clickety-clacking on the keyboard and learning stuff. But let's look at some of the questions, because I want you to be able to answer for yourself whether this is right for you. And I want you to know like what you're getting into and what you should be looking for. And these are things that you can apply to any opportunity you look at in the future. First thing most people want to know is, does it work, right? Isn't that what you want to know? Hey, does this work? That's probably what you were even looking for when you went on YouTube and you were researching and you found this video. We're going to look at that, and I'm not going to ask you to take my word for it. We'll look at some social proof, okay? Is the market already saturated? I get this one a lot, usually only from newbies who have the idea that there is such a thing as saturation, which I don't believe there is. We're going to look at that. Will this work for you? Can you do it? Right? That's great, Alan. If you made $15,000 last month, oh, that's very nice for you if you did that, but can it work for me? Well, only you can answer that question, but I'm going to make it a lot easier on you, and I'm going to show you some things to look at so you'll be able to answer that question yourself. Will you be able to get help and support, and what sort of help? I get this question all the time. I'm not kidding you when I tell you that this week alone, just this week, I've had 6 people call me and say, I'm a member, I've been a member for this long, I've been trying to reach my sponsor for a month, I can't get a call back. Or I joined my cousin, and he's a good guy, he just doesn't know he just doesn't know anything. I can't get any help. What the hell am I going to do? I need help. Can I switch to your team? I don't ever try to steal people away from people like that. But business-wise, it's not really smart for me to invest a bunch of time training people on someone else's team. The point is that people want help. And I'll tell you one secret right now. If you have no accomplishment, no credibility, and none of your own income yet, how do you provide help to people? There is a way to do that. It's quite a mystery. It's awesome. Came up with this a long time ago, and it works great. I want to show you how we handle that problem. How do I get started? Hey, I joined, I paid my startup, and now what do I do to get started? Well, perhaps there would be a series of steps laid out for you that you could follow. We'll look at that a little bit later. What can I do to advertise? You know there's a lot of different ways to advertise. Do you know that your personality and your skill set has a lot to do with determining what you should be doing to advertise? Do you know that your budget has a lot to do with what you should be doing to advertise? And do you know that advertising could cost $0, or it could cost $200,000 or $300,000 a month, and somewhere in between is probably what you're going to end up doing? Do you also know that with Empower Network, because of the way our conversions are predictable, you actually will know how much you can spend to advertise. It's wonderful stuff. We'll look at all of this. Alan, how do I convert my leads into signups? Oh man, that's important, isn't it? Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you right now. Like if you've done MLM, and I'm not a big fan of MLM. This is an MLM, but it's just tough to make money in MLM. You got a problem, and your problem is converting people into signups, and it's tough. And the thing is, with when you got a program that's like high dollar to start, low commission on the front end, and these people are committing to all this money, it's just tough for a new person to do. We make it so much easier. But more importantly, we do it in a way where we already know what the conversion percentages are going to be. So you can actually budget your ads. We'll look at all that. Is it complicated? How complicated is it? How smart do I have to be? Well, you don't have to be that smart. I don't know if the average person, average is pretty low. Probably the average person wouldn't even be looking at something like this because they wouldn't have the mental fortitude to recognize, oh, there's an opportunity here and this could be something. So if you're watching this, you're probably not average, and if that's the case, you're above average, and you should be smart enough. It shouldn't be an issue. How long will it take me to learn to do this? That depends on a number of things. I will say that 99% of the time, literally 99 times out of 100, the people that I talk to, they think it's way more complicated than it actually is. It's actually not. It doesn't take that long. But how long will it take you to make money? That's a wonderful question. Wouldn't you like to know the answer to that? We'll look at that in detail. Have you done network marketing before and failed? Well, Alan, I was in Amway years ago. I did all this work and had all these home meetings, never made any money. How is this any different? You know what? This is very different. For me, it's not even the same business model. It's almost like the difference between running a McDonald's and mowing lawns. I mean, they're completely different. If you look at them and you think they're similar, I don't know what you're looking at, but there's some confusion there. We'll look at all that a bit later. Here's what the old school guys say to me. Well, what's the real cost to start, Alan? You say, okay, it's $25. What's the real cost, right? Oh, they're concerned about surprise fees. You know what I mean? You get in, you pay the $25. Then what? Oh, you got to pay something else so you could do something else, right? See, we want to cover all of that so there's no surprises. There's no hidden fees or costs at all. How can I speed up my progress once I start? This is actually really cool because we get into automation. See, I get a lot done in a small amount of time. I'm not telling you this to brag. It just happens to be the case. I do this business because I want to be free, because I have things in life that I want to do. I don't do this business because I dream about internet marketing all night long and I fantasize about having big downlines. I don't care about any of that crap. All I want is some free time so I can live my life and enjoy my daughter and go help my church and things like that. And I'm able to do that with this, and you can do it too. But the thing is, there's a point at which you're going to need to know some stuff that's probably going to be hard to find with just the average sponsor in terms of automating things so you can free yourself. And I can be very helpful in that regard. Doesn't mean I'm the best sponsor for you, but I might be. Well, what if you're a total tech dummy? Is that going to be a problem? How much of a problem? How tech dummy can I be and still make it go right? I think that'd be a worthwhile answer to have, don't you? Now, there's other things you may never even think to ask. There's probably a lot of them. Like, for example, what should I look for in a sponsor? Does it even matter who I choose to join under? Or how can a good sponsor help me? And what is a good sponsor for me? I'm going to tell you right now, does it even matter? Yes, it matters. It could be the difference between 6 figures and nothing. Does that mean that there's a best sponsor or a worst sponsor? No, not necessarily. I mean, it's nice to have someone who's knowledgeable, but the thing is that, what's right for you is what's the good sponsor for you. You see? Here's the thing. I can tell you anything. In the end, you're going to have to decide. How are you going to decide? Well, you're going to get reality on whoever it is that you're considering, or the program that you're considering. And by getting that reality and having some experience and spending some of your time with that, you'll be able to make an educated decision. What I like to do is I like to give away all kinds of really cool free lessons and stuff that people can use to build whatever business they're in now. And they go through it with me, and we go through it together, and they learn a bunch of stuff, and they learn about who I am as a person and my personality. And when they get through a couple lessons, they got a pretty damn good idea whether they can work with me or not. They don't even have to guess. Isn't that wonderful? Like, you can actually work with me before you work with me, and you can decide for yourself. It's a brilliant plan. I'm glad I thought of it. No, I just found out a long time ago this worked. You know what I mean? I've been doing this for almost 15 years, or maybe 15 years, and you just see what works over all that time, and you can share it. Well, are you right for the business? Forget about the business being right. Are you even right for it? And how do you determine that? Wouldn't that be good to know? Don't you think? What about the things that are going to get you results? What are the things you should be focusing on to get results? And what are the things that are going to waste all your time and produce nothing? Wouldn't that be good information to have even before you join? Don't you think? All right, now let's go back to the first question, which is, does Empower Network work? And the answer is yes. Without question, it works. Any company who in the first 5 months can pay out $5.5 million in commissions, you can't argue the fact that whether it works. But the thing is, I can only show you what I've experienced, and I don't want you to have to take my word for it. So we're going to go on a little bit of a field trip here, and we're going to take a look at just a little bit of social proof. All right, so what we're looking at here, this is just going to log into my back office here. And if I go here to my business, this is so easy to navigate, right? View team, for example. We're going to look at, I've been in Empower Network for about 5 months. These are all the basic level memberships. The ones you're looking at here at the top is their pass-ups. These are monthly $25 recurring commissions that have been passed up to my sponsor. So every single month, every one of these people is paying my sponsor $25 a month. All of these people I personally referred or made that sale. The direct referrals now, these are all the people on my power line, my pay line, that are paying me $25 a month. All wonderful people. All, they have access to that blogging system and the marketing systems and the members only calls and things like that for that $25 a month. And when they say active over here, it basically just means their account is active and they're paying you. As I scroll down here, I don't want to take a lot of time with this, but you see in about 5 months, I'm up to, about 253 people that I personally referred. Now down here's pass-ups to me from other people. I'm not going to get into that right now. But I just want to show you some of the results, If I can do that, if you did 20% of that, you'd be doing really good. You see? Now there's an upsell here. Well, there's 4 upsells, but we'll look at the next one, the inner circle. These are all $100 a month memberships, and again, we pay 100% commission. So this top section, these are all passed up to my sponsor, all paying her $100 a month, and then these folks here, all paying me $100 a month. Okay. If you scroll down to the bottom here, we see there's over 100 of these people, and just imagine, if you only did half of that, right? Let's say you got 50 or a third of that, you got 50 of them. That's 50 times 5,000 a month extra income, right? Now and there's all kinds of cool like contests and things like that. I logged in before this recording. I saw this. You've won 2 tickets for the event. I have no idea how I did that. Last month I won a Mac Mini. Now you may do way better. You may not do as well. You may do nothing. You may light the world on fire. There's people who produce more income than me at this. There's people who work a lot more than me too. But anyway, what's the next question? The next question is, isn't the market for this program already saturated? Factually, no. It's not even close. We're a brand new company. Momentum is coming. Okay, there is no such thing as saturation. There may be a point for a new company where there's a momentum phase where the rapidity of the expansion of it increases really much faster at that particular time. We call that momentum. But there's companies that have been around for 50, 60 years and they still do more profit every year than the previous year. There's too many people getting born and changing jobs and getting laid off and retiring and moving, and there's just too much motion going on for saturation to ever be something that would prevent someone from making a business go right like this. There are other factors involved, but that's not really one of them. Now here's the thing, there's a lot of questions and there are real and complete answers to all these questions, and many other questions probably you've never even thought of yet. And if you've been in this industry a long time, you've just heard them all, so my awareness of the things that you're probably going to want to know is probably just a bit higher if you're watching this. But the thing is, you're going to get all your answers right now, and all you have to do is just click the link on the screen or the link below this video right now, and then you'll be able to get access to your free success report, which will answer all your questions. I put together a real nice success report where I'll take you through, and I'll show you all the data to get answers on all these questions. It will allow you to make your own decision based on your own observations instead of having to take the word of somebody that you don't even know. Sound like a deal? Great. So go ahead and do that right now, and I'll see you on the next page.